is still not really that much. At this point, you might be like, wow, already 3 game modes down. This is just going swimmingly right now. Oh man. Next, we move on to the standalone game modes, of which there are 4, and the easiest of which is Pizza Party. In this FNAF themed game mode, you defend a pizzeria from a variety of puppet themed zombies. Things started out rather poorly in this run, as we were all generally too invested in the money game, and were underprepared for the skill boss. Yeah, in this mode, the towers you normally defend with have been turned into toy enemy versions of themselves. Horrifying, honestly. And this boss delivered us some fat damage, nearly causing us to lose to these shadows here. It was very close. And there were more tense waves as the zombies ran deep along the path. But I eventually got all my farms to level 3 and started placing and upgrading mortar. Now I make special mention of this tower because unlike the many others I cycled through, this guy was vital in beating all 3 of the main special modes. His splash damage is a great way to counter all the hordes of zombies, and in this mode specifically, he was required to kill the Balloon Boy zombies, which fly above ground-based towers. The next puppet tower after Scout was Shotgun, kinda like the slow boss from before. He's a bit faster though, and has a big HP bar. Oh whoa, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Got some accelerators down, which carried early, and was assisted by Pro and Benji, as our whole team had brought accelerator. I placed sledgers on corners, and they froze and slowed down the zombie horde. We melted down the commander puppet. He has his little Call of Arms ability, which is cute, and the minigunner puppets, reaching the final wave. The boss of this mode is Wox or Fox, with a terrifying 250,000 health. I mean, that is a lot more than the Fallen King, but compared to the other final bosses, it's much less. He has special abilities like a jump scare and a stun, but his health is a bit too low to be threatening. As he took more and more damage, he shed his furry coverings and melted down into an endoskeleton as he died. Another dub. Next is Badlands 2, because it's technically a remake. This mode takes place in a parched desert map with 3 paths. I mean, there's not really many special zombies here, but all the pre-existing zombies were Cowboy has, so that's pretty cool. Trying to join a game here, I witnessed something that would come back to haunt me during the previous game. Matchmaking. As upon joining this first game, all of my team left, and the second time around, half of my team left. It took a few more attempts to finally get in the game with a full team, all of us having synergizing loadouts. For early defense, SG1 placed an ace pallet and Bio placed a cowboy, where Bio then said, hey, this placement sucks, man. Which, like, it's not great, but it's really not that bad. And he convinced SG1 to sell his tower, and he didn't have enough money to replace it instantly, where we suddenly started taking a lot more damage. This is my live reaction. We skipped through a wave and he got back down, but that was definitely scary. Me and Ari, the last member of our team, both took the same approach, farming a bit early and getting down a mortar to help defend. We made it through the mid game and Ari started placing accelerators as I got engineer. And then we had an absolute classic TDS match. 2 DJs placed right next to each other. If you don't know, the effects do not stack, and this isn't even the only time it happened. It sounds like I'm kinda roasting my team here, but nah, we did alright. Our lowest point was here, surviving a breaker horde with 2 health. This actually happens like every time I play this mode, I don't know why. But we did manage to rebound and build our defense back up. I got sledgers, once again for the sound effect, and spammed accelerators and engineers. Even with 3 times the normal amount of zombies, we were holding our own. Mortars so we were good. With everyone maxing out their towers, we reached grade 30. And the boss here is the Gunslinger, a giant zombie cowboy who can use a mountain minigun against us, protected by a platoon of his cavalry who shoot at and stun towers. Probably the most stylish zombies, honestly. The boss itself has 600,000 health, so over twice that of Wox, and the path here is substantially shorter. I was low-key stressing, and we ended up cutting it very close. I started moving out of range towers, panicking hard, as he still had like half his cavalry and 50,000 health. But just barely, like actually barely. We took him out at the entrance to our base, completing the 3rd hardest game. That was difficult, but it's really nothing compared to Polluted Wasteland, the final of the 3 main special game modes, and by far the most challenging. Let me showcase what makes this mode so much harder than the others. Now for one thing, the map is easier, which seems counterintuitive at first. It's got all these loops that mean your towers can attack for longer, but really, this is just an excuse for the developers to train the most broken, overpowered zombies in the game. For example, take this one. Lost_Dad pulled up with cowboys for early defense, while me and Must farm. The special zombies here are these little mutated guys, a theme which persists throughout the mode. They have comparatively more health than the other building residents and gain annoying pocket abilities. Thanks to my farming, I got an accelerator in time for the hidden. This accelerator is actually incredibly important because fast forward to tomorrow, Wasteland is an amalgamation compared to normally 1600 health Slowbar and 2000 health Sonic, and it breaks down into a ton of small pieces out of the expansion. If you don't have a highly upgraded accelerator here, you're doing it. Even as it was close to it, as I had to sell the farm to maximum health. Even this non-just weapon. Now this one is something like like the rush rate, incredibly fast, and speed of mortar again, within value, but we needed multiple accelerators to finish it. Or the Abomination, which kinda looks like a tank, a normal 6000 health slightly, not really, except when it dies, it comes back to life and goes super. Although by the time it spawns, we have enough health. From there, more and more stuff spawns. You can't forget the slime, the warden, the boxes, take all of those and spam like 50. Yep. I mean, even through this narration, you can probably notice, Polluted Wasteland usually devolves into a messy, chaotic scramble, culminating in the boss of the mode, the Nuclear Monster, who is just miserable. This guy has the most health of any zombie in the game, 1.5 million. That's equal to more than 2 gunslingers, 6 walking boxes, or 10 bombs. That's absurd. He has a litany of abilities to eliminate. Stun all your towers, yep, spawn 30 zombies, yeah, delete your tower's range, you can do it all. Even with maxed out accelerators, engineers, everything is support, you still go good. I used ability after ability after imagination. And even without that, really good. Yeah. On the third loop of path, we used the summon ability, and the spawn of I was just really excited. And the spawn of the other than this mode is like engineers, just to output enough damage to maybe kill the boss. In that game, we just did not have enough damage. We could like own the damage, but I so I played off, and after a few resets, gone to memory. If I were to describe it, very simple. Legend of Lightning while our other strikes and ace pilots for air defense. We got accelerators upgraded in time for Wave 22, and we took down the amalgamation. From here though, things went downhill quickly. For one, our fourth teammate was deliberately sold, just bringing ace pilots and beyond. You can see this great DJ placement here. Yeah. And eventually Toxic Jax was like, wait a minute, no commander? He started arguing with that fourth teammate who lied about having and refusing to place commander, did not have it yet, which caused Legend of Lightning to win. And from there it was a short transition to from here on out I just didn't play out any games. I think that's perfect. This time I had to go through probably though I got but every player was and I knew I wouldn't get my best. This one was so much Order again, but the late game wasn't this time with my team having about 30 accelerators and 20 engineers, but with no medic we couldn't counter the boss's stuns. Still, the DPS made up for it, down to 700,000 by the first loop, down to 150,000 by the second. By the third loop though, he summoned multiple times, and I moved my towers as I was still worried we might lose here, just because of how short the path is to the end. When I originally played this mode, I did actually lose just like that, so I was scared. Plus, our damage was really slowing down, but with his final chance to end us, he used a stunning rather than a spawning ability. We focused down the nuclear monster itself, and I finally beat through this one. That was quite a while, but it does mean there's just one game mode left, hardcore mode. undoubtedly just the strangest game mode. Hardcore has had a storied history, which is to say it's made a lot of people mad. For good reason, I would. Now, this mode is hard capped for 3 players rather than 4, and I ended up teaming up with Venado and Turbo, not just normal players, as we all agreed to use a strategy guide, which essentially gave us the plan to win the game, because, as you might guess, hardcore is hard. But unlike Polluted Wastelands, which at least feels possible if you have every tower and are high level, hardcore just feels depressingly hard. Like, the developers don't care about it, the general player base doesn't like it, even the best players who this is designed for don't like it. And joining the match, it's easy to see why. I had the role of the ace pilot player, which meant I had to use this loadout as it's outcalculated. And I had to quickly provide early game defense before farming for a while. This wasn't exactly optimal gameplay, I loaded inmate or was able to play strong early, but it still let us survive long enough for Turbo and Venado to place Gold Soldier and time into a second. From here, things got shaky. In this mode, the zombies get way more health, you make no money, and everything costs way more to place. I hate this mode. Venado's first accelerator just let us take down the slow boss by Wave 282, and we gradually moved our firepower from the very back of the map up to the front. The strategy from here on out was pretty much to just spam accelerators in pursuit of the damage, as we tackled the mode's incoming specialty zombies, who display a major part of the mode's problem. Like, look at this guy, the Fallen Titan. At first glance, I guess I wrote that in the script. But you might realize his model looks a bit off, especially compared to the quality of the other modes and their unique zombies, because this guy has been unchanged since his addition in 2020, as have the rest of these zombies. Hardcore mode has been kind of a standard by the developers, even seeing very intricate balance. The zombie has this 40 damage shield system, which is quite literally a leftover action. It doesn't even work anymore, because they use a new resistance system. In general, it's just a bunch of weird stuff in hardcore, all contributing to the balance issues. However, in this game, things are going quite well. We collected these crystals as they randomly broke through a tunnel, but they were receptive. Everything else was going on. Hardcore is not 1, 2, 3, but 5 using the zombies to increase standard. Gravedigger spawns away 36. Molten Boss follows the but before the falling team appears, falling towards the new boss is exclusive to leading into the Fallen King spawn and the Fallen King. The speedy boss moves out of the win, but the boss itself is little fun, as the Fallen King still only had its base 150,000 health. Finally, we reached wave 50, and the boss spawned as the Void. This is technically less health than the Venado had to while I was the medic player, and had to heal us when the Reaver stunned our towers, which he can do in a variety of unique ways, with these galactic distortions, overall, this could be the plan to make fun of the game, because it's quite fun. Only which game is the best. Tower Defense Simulator has this mission quest system. Basically, by completing a series of objectives, you earn some currency and an entirely exclusive skin. There are 7 different quests, but 3 don't make sense. One for attack tactician and suppressing fire, the quests can easily be and the teams of this same with these great fire. The remaining 4, though, are truly extreme. There's no objectives. Some of these objectives are really I started with a serious drifter. By the way, I should know I started this like 2 months ago, which is why I regardless, I wanted to like a basic story map, and before the last difference I hopped on Mason, there was Deal Feathers map. Different types of gameplay, how did this thing suggest my very different? Of course, the community glows over it, deal a million damage on the map. Land with triple range, I teamed up with Senior Saturn Third Corporal, aka Thatcher, and we attempted to demolish this quest. The first match we played didn't go so well, I made a 0.01% progress, but the follow-up run was just sublime. We got a ton of DPS towers down, and with Thatcher's exclusive War Machine and mecha bases, it was light work. I made pretty much no progress on the quest for like the first 90% of the game, but the